The electrified Tacoma is coming whether we like it or not. Toyota has spoken. Well, good morning, everybody. How are you today? Pretty good here, and that's right. The electrified Tacoma is coming, and Toyota has spoken. Recently, they made an announcement at some car show overseas that they're going to electrify their trucks. Now, unless they come out with a new model, their trucks are only the Tacoma and the Tundra, right? Now, word has it that it's going to be probably a mix of the two, but definitely the Tacoma. So I'm wearing my new Ebadge here just so I can show solidarity. And it's even in chrome. Not really. Anyway, there are tons of electrified trucks coming, right? We have the Ford F-150, Chevy Silverado, the Hummer, the Tesla Cybertruck, which is absolutely hideous. The Rivian, that's supposed to be coming out, I think, here in June pretty soon, at least the first iteration of it. And even the Jeep Wrangler electrified, right? And there's many more to follow. So like I said, recently, Toyota said that they too are going to electrify their trucks. However, Toyota has not specified which truck, although one's got to think it's going to be both, actually, you know, the Tundra or the Tacoma. Now, as I mentioned, I think they'll offer both. I do think that for a while, there will be a mix, if you will. In other words, they're not going to come out with just an electric version, and if you don't want it, you just go somewhere else. I can't see them doing that. I think for some period of time, they will have both versions available. Kind of like the new Tundra and its removal of the V8, right? For a while, you're going to be able to get a V8, but soon it's going to go away altogether, I think. Now, rumor has it that we'll see an electrified Tacoma no later than 2025. Now, it's interesting how that kind of coincides with the expected release of the Gen 4 Tacoma, right? It's about a 3-4 year cycle, something like that. And if the Tundra comes out in December, as it's supposed to, as a 2022 model, well, 3 years puts us right at 2025 for the new Tacoma, right? So, would I buy an electrified Tacoma? Well, you know, I gotta say, I've seen some pics of what the Tacoma Gen 4e, that's what I'm going to call it, the Tacoma Gen 4e. But I've seen some pictures of what it looks like. And I got to say, I like it. I kind of dig it. You know, it's got the Tesla type door handles that are pushed in. I assume they pop out like the Tesla does when you walk up. It's got a neat front end. I like the front end. And I think, you know, this could go either way. I think there's a lot of people out there that don't care for it from some of the comments that I've seen. But I like the styling of it altogether, you know? But looks aren't everything. There are a few other things that we've got to consider and we've got to have, right? Number one, it needs to be quick. And this might just satisfy this off-the-line or torque requirement that I keep talking about on the channel, right? It's got to be quick off the line, like 0 to 60 in 3 seconds quick, right? Now, some of you may be saying, well, gee, Rob, it's not a sports car. I mean, it's a truck. It shouldn't do that. But I got to tell you, you know, it's very normal for electric cars to be that quick. I mean, they're talking about this outrageously fast off the line or 0 to 60 speed in a Hummer. That's a huge vehicle. And look at the Cybertruck, you know, what it's supposed to do. So it's not unreasonable to think that the Tacoma, especially given its size, I mean, it's nowhere near the size of a Hummer or a Cybertruck, although we are going to have that extra battery weight, right? But it's nowhere unreasonable to think that it can't achieve that kind of quickness, right? It still needs to be moddable. Now, you know, the likelihood of this, I mean, there will be mods for it eventually, I'm sure, but, you know, I'm not sure that we're going to have the same options that we have now, right? I mean, like, can you lift it? I don't know. Can you put bigger tires on it? You know, again, it's going to be electric, and it has to be able to haul those tires around, right? And if you hope to achieve the range that you're going to need with an electric truck, you probably don't want to add that extra weight to it. And I'm sure that Toyota's going to have even a lighter weight wheel on it, probably with a tire combination, than they do now. Again, just to reduce weight rather, and increase the range of those batteries, right? What about an exhaust? You know, I thought I'd mention this. I personally don't care because I don't think you get anything great out of a V6 Tacoma regarding exhausts anyway. So I'm not real concerned about that, but you're not gonna have an exhaust, right? I mean, unless you put a speaker on the back and pipe out sounds through it, you won't need an exhaust because there won't be any. Number 4, it has to have at least, I think, 400 miles of range. You know, there'd be nothing worse than coming out with an electric vehicle that you have to stop for an hour, 2, however long it takes, to recharge every couple hundred miles, right? I think realistically, it's got to have range. It's got to have at least 400 miles. Now, number 5, there have to be many quick charge stations located all over the country, right? I think there have to be just as many as there are gas stations today. Now, the kicker about that is when you pull up to a gas station, you only have to wait a couple minutes, right? I don't know, maybe 3 to 5 minutes, something like that, if the person's slow, for them to refuel. You know, now they're going to need more outlets, if you will, because when you plug your vehicle in, it's got to sit there for a while. And if you're looking at, you know, I don't know, 45 minutes, an hour, you know, you're going to have lines down the freeway, you know, while people are charging up their vehicles. So realistically, they've got to have stations located everywhere throughout the country, and they have to have multiple outlets. Who'd have thought we'd ever talk about outlets when refueling your truck? But you have to have multiple outlets for people to plug in, right? And I think with these conditions met, you know, the question is, would I buy one? Absolutely. I am all for it. I think it's a fantastic idea, especially if they come out with one that looks like the renderings or the pictures that I've seen recently on the web, right? I mean, I think they're pretty cool. I'm kind of digging it. So I'd even like to see this rendering I've seen for this electric truck for the 4th generation Tacoma, irregardless, whether or not it's actually electric or not. I just think it's a cool design. Obviously, the grille work in it would be a little bit different on this rendering I've seen. It's just kind of flat with nothing in the middle. It would have to be open, obviously, for cooling of the engine if it's not an electric vehicle. But I really dig the way it looks. And I hope Toyota kind of goes that way with the redesign of the Tacoma. So, you know, we need to demand what we want right now, right? Because they're coming at us no matter what. They're going to jam this new truck down our throats whether we like it or not. And sooner or later, it's going to be the only option that you can buy, right? I mean, the wave of the future, at least our future, is electric. That's the way it's going to go. And someday, you're not going to have choice either because, 1, gas prices will become so high because it's scarce, or 2, they just discontinue them altogether. It's going to be interesting to see. So what do you think? What would it take for you to buy the new Tacoma Gen 4e? Is it something you would get? I mean, you may not have a choice. And I know a lot of people out there say, oh, I'll walk before I buy one of those. Yeah, sure you will. Sure you will. You're going to walk 300 miles instead of buying an electric vehicle. I doubt that. But anyway, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. I'd be curious to know. Also, real quick, I have 2 additional channels. The first is RobMotive JT, all about my 2020 Jeep Gladiator. And the second is RobMotive Civic, about my experiences with the Honda Civic Type R and the Honda Civic Sport Hatchback. Check them out, and if you're interested, please subscribe. Don't forget to click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. And do me a favor, smash that subscribe button on the way out. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there.